Today is August 22nd. NVDA will release earnings tomorrow, end of trading hours. Let's have a quick look at NVDA's option chain today and compare it with yesterday's option chain for any insights. Key observations from the calls. Let's begin with the volume. Increased volume in out-of-money call options was observed on August 22nd, that is today. These out-of-money call options have no intrinsic value. Only potential value is based on future price movements. Let's look at the strikes. The 495 strike had the highest volume on both days. The 495 strike being the most traded on both days might suggest that traders believe this is a potential price target for NVIDIA post earnings. It's also possible traders are utilizing this specific strike for other trading strategies like spreads, for example. The IV has increased from 113% to 141% on August 22nd. This is typical ahead of events like earnings announcements where the stock's movement can be unpredictable. The stock price was 467 on August 21st and dropped to 456 on August 22nd. Given NVIDIA's high trailing PE of 226 times, the stock may have dropped due to concerns about its lofty valuation and potential overvaluation if anticipated growth doesn't materialize. Trailing PE is a valuation ratio that divides the current stock price by its earnings per share EPS over the past 12 months. Next, key observations from the puts. The 400 strike had the highest volume on both days. The persistent interest at the 400 strike on both days suggests that traders might see this as a potential level for NVIDIA post earnings or are using it for specific option strategies. High IV, especially deep in the money and far out of money options. Increased weighted IV from August 21st to August 22nd. This is typical ahead of significant events like earnings. Dense volume in puts between strikes 350 to 450. The dense volume in this range, especially considering the current stock price, suggests traders might be speculating on a substantial move downwards or they may be hedging existing bullish positions. Here are insights from calls and puts observed together. High volume near key strikes. The call options show significant volume at 495 strike, whereas puts are heavily concentrated around the 400 strike. This might suggest a range within which traders expect the stock to move post earnings. Increased implied volatility. Both calls and puts show a rise in IV, indicative of expected volatility around the earnings announcement. This is typical, but the high level suggests the traders are expecting a substantial price movement. Out of money speculation. There's a noticeable volume in out of money options for both calls and puts. The call side is looking at 495 strike bullish sentiment, whereas the put side is concentrated between 350 to 450 strikes bearish sentiment. This indicates a split in the sentiment with traders betting on both upward and downward substantial moves. Stock price movement. Despite the fall in NVIDIA stock price from 467 to 456, there's continued bullish speculation in the calls. This suggests that some traders expect a rebound or positive news from the earnings. In conclusion, the options market for NVIDIA is showing signs of high anticipation and uncertainty ahead of the earnings. Traders are preparing for substantial volatility and are hedging their bets on both sides. While there's optimism seen in the call options, there's also protective or bearish sentiment evident in the puts.